Coach, obviously a bit of a track meet in this one. Lots of goals either way, but your team comes out with the 2 points. Just talk to me about your team's effort today.
No, sometimes you have to find a way to win. We had a let down after those couple goals in the third, but got the energy back. Earlier this year, giving up 2 quick goals in the third, sometimes mentally it'd be a very big challenge for us to come back in the game. But I feel like the last few weeks since we went on the road, I feel like guys don't give up, they persevere, and that's exactly what we did in the third.
And what can you just say about your team's confidence overall? I mean, your team's obviously still fighting for a playoff spot there with just under 20 games to go chasing Rockford. But what can you just say about the level of play your team's been able to find here in the late stages of the season?
Well, I think it started with our first line. Tony Nato, Shaw, and Axel. They've been really good on the road, and again, the last 3 games here at home. It seems like every time we need an energy shift or a momentum shift on our side, it seems like it's always coming from that line. We showed some clip earlier this week about them, the way they forecheck, the way they play hard, the way they protect the puck in the O-zone. I think they're a great example for our kids how to play at the professional level. But you're right. Yeah, there's a lot of confidence in our team right now that if we play the right way, we could win games.
Speaking of the kids, Fabian Wagner, obviously 2 goals in 2 games. That has to be bringing some confidence for him as well. Just what can you say about Fabian's game as of late, and what's led to him finding the back of that and that success so far?
Well, I think Fabian, it's all about his smarts, getting in those areas where he could get that puck, where he could get alone, or giving it an opportunity to get that puck back. The subtlety of the game sometimes it's not how fast you are, but it's to get there at the right time, and it seems like that's what he's getting lately. He had about 4 or 5 good looks tonight as far as scoring goals. He's not the most flashy guy. I think he's just a smart kid that could read those situations, where to go for those loose puck, and now 2 games, 2 goals. Hopefully he'll keep going tomorrow.
Earlier this week, I asked Coach Person about finding the way to get to that second win in a series. There's been a lot of splits as of late. From a game like today, where it kind of back and forth all game, obviously both teams giving up 5 and 6 goals. How do you take the good from this game and try and cut down on some of the more explosive stuff coming against you to try and get that second win in the series?
It's just I feel like we lose our focus at times during the game, especially at home. It seems like it's a lot easier for us to stay focused for 60 minutes on the road. Maybe the small crowd at times, we have a tendency maybe to fall asleep during games, or because if you look at our record this year, it's not really good. We're having a lot more success on the road. So I think that's one area where we need to. We addressed the situation earlier this year. We addressed the situation earlier this week where if there's not enough energy coming from the crowd, it's got to come from somebody else. It's got to come from your teammates next to you on the bench. It's got to, you got to be a good teammate. So you don't have as much ice time as you'd like, but you got to be kind of a cheerleader on the bench, bring some energy. When you go on the ice, you got to realize when momentum shift. What can I do to get the momentum back on our side? Well, maybe it's just to keep the game simple, go hard on the forecheck, couple hits, couple blocks shot, things like that. So that's been our biggest challenge this year. It's to recognize those situations at home, especially get some energy from other players. We're in the race for playoff right now. We can't afford to lose game just because. For different reasons. But at home, we got to collect some points. That's what we asked for the boys. After having a good road trip, let's get home and collect some points, as much as possible.
When you have a game where it's as back and forth as that and you let up 5, how important is it to protect the front of the net, especially in front of the goaltender?
Well, yeah, of course, but we give up some good point shot as well, guys not being in their position, it wasn't clean by any means tonight. There's different area to clean up, on the tracking, on the breakouts. I feel like our breakouts were not that bad tonight, but teams that are hard, teams that go to the net, we got to box out early. We got to make sure they don't get those rebounds. We got to make sure the goalie sees the puck. This is always an area where you have to be sharp and good. You know, if you look at the NHL, there's always somebody in that front. You know, try to take away the view of the goalie. So, you know, if you could get position before they get there, so the goalie could see the puck, you know, better it is. If you can't, well, you got to make sure somebody blocks the shot or somebody doesn't take the rebound. Yeah.
A lot of the times with young 20-year-old defensemen, there can be a kind of a chaoticness to their game, but Elias Salomonsson just seems to be steady, sturdy, calm in high-pressure situations. How rare is that to see as a coach at this level?
Well, it is, especially when you come from Europe, and you know, every European defenseman, especially the young kids, their challenge is always to realize how much time they have with the puck, or you know, or don't have time. You know, with a big ice surface, teams don't forecheck. A lot of teams will be 1-2-2. There's only one guy forechecking, but here in North America, there's always two guys on the forecheck and putting a lot of pressure on the D, finishing their hit. Sometimes in Europe, you don't want to finish your hit because a bigger ice surface. So, yeah, I feel like. Especially since he came back from his injury, I think it was really good for him to watch the game from the stand, to realize that okay, I got more time. You know, I could make plays because I feel like his consistency is a lot better since he came back from that injury. I feel like before Christmas it was kind of up and down for a situation like that where not enough time, you know, turnover or things like that, not closing quick enough on situation, you know, and more of a contain, not physically involved as much, where I think being away from the game for almost 6-7 weeks, I think it was really good for him to realize that, hey, I got to play harder, I got to make plays quicker, and you're right, he's been really, really consistent since he came back. I can't say he had a bad game since he came back. He's really strong on both sides of the game, so that's good for us for sure.